Warning, this content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I do not make any warranties to its accuracy, applicability, or completeness. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice. Always seek the advice of a qualified health provider. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of any information presented here. I disclaim all liability to any party for direct, indirect, implied, punitive, special, incidental, or other consequential damages arising directly or indirectly from its use. Hey guys, Paul here today. I want to talk about skinny dudes taking grams of gear. I see it all the time. It always seems like it's the skinniest guys that take the most gear. We're going to talk about why this happens. Before we do so, please take the time to subscribe to my channel. It's the best way you can show your appreciation for all this awesome content that I am putting together. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you want to get in contact with me, my contact information is below. I'm at Paul K. Barnett on Instagram. You can also email me at bigp3rd@gmail.com. If you have a comment, question, or you think I'm a moron, please put it in the comment section below. I will do my best to respond to each and every one of them. All right, so this is a thing that I've really been thinking about a lot lately. Since I put this channel up, I've had tons of people reach out to me to talk about their cycles and ask, questions. I have some people that I coach, and this is something that I've always wondered about over the years, and has always made me scratch my head. I've seen it at the gym too, where I hear guys talk about what they're taking, and it always seems like the skinniest dudes are the ones that take the most gear. It's mind-boggling to me, and I've thought about it. Is it an issue with diet? Is it an issue with some people? I know some people are just non-responders. I know some people are hard gainers. And I have, some people just got the shit end of the stick when it comes to genetics. And I think these are also the same guys that don't believe that people can get big taking less gear. I talked to a dude just this week who's probably going to get an IFBB Pro card soon, that's only taking 250 milligrams of test for his off season. That is it. I couldn't believe it. And this motherfucker is bigger than 90% of the people in the gym. So, and looks better. And he's just taking basically TRT. So my theory on it, and what I have seen almost always when somebody reaches out to me and says, hey, I'm blasting a gram of test and 600 milligrams of Tren and, equipoise and, taking all these crazy amounts of gear. And when I actually start digging into what they're doing, they don't eat. They just don't eat. They don't eat enough. They think somehow that the gear is what makes them big, not the food. And I'm not saying that gear doesn't play a role in it, but if you aren't eating, you can take all the fucking gear in the world and you're not going to get big. I can't hammer this point home enough. I just can't hammer this point home enough. The guys that win in the bodybuilding shows are the ones who get the best at eating fucking chicken and rice over and over and over and over again until they feel like they're going to puke. Meat and rice, that's the secret, guys. Not taking more gear, eating shit tons of meat and rice. That's the secret. It just boggles the mind when I think about it. I also think a lot of people don't train hard. And I know I've recently moved to a high volume style training, and I don't train to failure, but that doesn't mean you don't train hard. I challenge anybody to run through a workout with me sometime, and you tell me if it's hard or not. I would 100% guarantee you my workouts are hard. So I think people don't train hard, and I think I can't tell you how important the food is. I go over this with people that reach out to me about coaching or whatever over and over and over and over and over again. The food is important. Even in the off season, you have to treat your off season, your size portion of your training like you're doing a contest prep. When I'm troubleshooting guys that aren't gaining weight, first thing I ask them, are you weighing and measuring your food? Well, no, I know I eat a lot. Well, like, how do you know you eat a lot if you aren't weighing and measuring your food? You don't know. You don't know. And almost always when we start digging into it, what these guys, these skinny guys that take a shit ton of gear, when I start digging into what they think is a lot of food, is not a lot of food. And I get a lot of people that'll say, "Well, I just can't get that much food down." I'm like, "Yeah, it sucks, man. I don't have the right now. I mean, I don't have the biggest appetite in the world at this point in my life. I'm getting older. You have to fucking force it down. It sucks. Getting big sucks. I will tell you that it sucks. It's uncomfortable. It's you have to eat a shit ton. You have to eat when you don't want to eat. You have to eat food that you don't like." And yeah, I know, I've talked to people who say they just want to eat, fast food to get the calories down. I'm like, look, I get it. It's easier to get those fucking calories down, but I'm telling you, and I'll say it again, the guy who gets the best at eating meat and rice is the one who wins the bodybuilding show. Is the dude that ends up being the biggest. And, the analogy I've heard my coach, I'll give Justin Harris some credit here that I've heard him say over and over again is use the construction site analysis. Gear is like having more construction workers at the construction site. If you aren't delivering bricks and wood to the construction site for those workers to use, they're going to stand around and do nothing. So you take a shit ton of gear, it's like having a shit ton of workers at a construction site, but you're not delivering bricks and lumber to the construction site. Nothing's going to happen. They're just going to stand around and do nothing. So you're taking shit tons of gear, exposing yourself to health risk for no reason whatsoever. So, guys, I can't pound this home enough. It doesn't matter how much gear you take if you aren't eating food and you aren't training hard. Get that through your head. Take care.